Good afternoon, and remember the Michigan case, that case that nearly derailed the University of Michigan and Jim Harbaugh? A lot of people thought the title should have been taken away. Well, the NCAA has finally spoken only as the NCAA can speak. Here it is, Michigan penalties. Did you expect anything else, seriously? The NCAA doing what it does best, make a fool out of itself, has spoken, and there will be serious fines. I'm sure that's going to hurt the University of Michigan. Head coach Sharon Moore will be suspended for the first game, not of this year, but of next year. It's hard to read this with a straight face. 10-year show cause penalty for Jim Harbaugh. In case you were forgotten, he's coaching the NFL right now. An 8-year show cause for Connor Stalions. That should keep him away from doing nothing, which he's currently doing. So what does this really mean? Oh, by the way, Sharon Moore will miss the Central Michigan and Nebraska game this year. He'll be there for the Oklahoma game, though. Don't worry about that. That's prime time. Why don't we get some context on this with one of the few people in America that can give it proper context, and that's our friend Pat Forde. Pat, I didn't mean to steal your thunder by offering an opinion, but I'll sit back and put my feet up as you opine on this ridiculous ruling.
Oh, what a great day for me to be on your show. At the time, I think I signed up for this. We didn't know this ruling was coming, and now here it is. And I think you summed it up pretty well. The NCAA just excels at finding unsatisfying conclusions to these investigations. They, explode out of nowhere. There's this scandal. The school and all the fans say there's nothing to it. The investigation goes underground. Nobody hears anything for a long time. We pop up. We have a hearing. We have a dramatic announcement. And everybody goes, really? That's it? And here we are. So the fine is legitimate. It's probably going to be $30 million. It's no small amount, that's for sure. But this is the University of Michigan, as you alluded to, not exactly a poverty-stricken university. And they'll be just fine, I think, out of this. And as expensive as it is, this is a win for Michigan. This season is not going to be impacted any more than they already knew it would be, and they're free to go about their business.
Yeah, and listen, the money is the money, but in today's world, I mean, a good quarterback at Michigan? So it's not that big a deal, but many people are saying, Pat, this is the final legitimate case that we'll hear from the NCAA, and you have to believe that it landed about where everybody thought it would, but are they essentially out of business now in this regard with enforcement?
I mean, certainly the power is waning, the influence is waning, the effectiveness is waning. Heck, the commissioners have taken things into their own hands and created a different college sports commission to handle NIL-related investigations. This really did have the feel of kind of the last big infractions case. There may be others, but it's going to be different going forward, and it is a diminished organization when it comes to rules enforcement. It already had been, right? Look, I mean, we already saw nobody took the rules very seriously. It's why they were always being broken. And one of the reasons they didn't take them seriously was because the NCAA could never find a way to get the punishments right. And so here we are. This is just another example, I think, of that. If you read the case, it's pretty interesting reading. Connor Stalions, what a devious dude. Holy moly. This guy, he had quite the scheme. Very melodramatic, too. Call him the KGB, his people that he sent out to collect dirty film on opponent signals. Doesn't sound to me like, this was all good. We weren't even trying to get a competitive advantage, does it? But in the end, Connor Stalions could do what people do in his spot, destroy evidence, withhold evidence, and then just get out of the game. Jim Harbaugh could do what he could do. I'm going pro. I'm getting out of there. And then the NCAA is going to say, well, we're not going to punish the players that weren't around, so just give us some money and we'll call it a day.
So Pat, we know what Michigan fans will think. We also know what Buckeye fans will think and everybody else will think. But in terms of a final headline on Jim Harbaugh's tenure there. He won the championship. He beat the odds. But in your mind, what did he do? What did he do, and how much did he know about what Connor Stalions was doing?
Well, this is really interesting to me, and then part of an interesting tangent of this. I just finished a column, should be up at Sports Illustrated later this afternoon. 2019, Jim Harbaugh to John U. Bacon, author. It's hard to beat the cheaters. As of today, he's one of the most penalized cheaters in NCAA football history. 10-year show cause on top of a 4-year show cause. 14 years. Now, they mean nothing. He's not going to coach anymore. But there is no more way for him to take the high ground and say, I do things the right way. He didn't cooperate with the investigation. Major rule violations on his watch, not once but twice. And Michigan, rather smug school, feels rather proud about itself, can't sit there and look at the Auburns and the LSUs and the Tennessees and the Clemsons and anybody else and say, we're on a higher plane than you are, because they're not.
Let me go back in time 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, Pat, starting with 25 years ago. What kind of penalty do you think this would have gotten?
Good question. Something that was an extensive effort to get a tangible competitive advantage, I think would have drawn a major sanction. It probably would have gotten a postseason ban. Those were much more in vogue. Now nobody wants to give a postseason ban, and I get it. I understand the logic behind it and the rationale behind it. You don't want to penalize players that were in their junior year of high school for something. That had nothing to do with what happened. So I have no, feeling like postseason bans were just never very effective because the time it takes to put together a case and prosecute it. So they would have gotten a postseason ban and people would have lost their minds about how unfair that was. But the question is, Jim Harbaugh would probably still have been gone to the NFL, and so once again, they would have been penalizing the wrong people.
So I've got a quick comment on the Michigan violations, if you have a minute. To me,
Sure.
It's just been way overstated. I understand the rule. It's about in-place scouting, and it's not really about sign stealing per se. But Michigan just pounded the opposition after the Stalions was suspended. They beat Penn State, Maryland, Michigan State, Ohio State. They won the Big Ten championship and beat Washington, Alabama. I think what complicates the whole issue is how do you take that scouting and tie it into what change or difference it made to any particular game. And then as far as Sharon Moore, what a fool. He erased 50 messages that they eventually pulled back up and had nothing to do with the violation. So I think at the end of the day, it's about little substance, and it furthers the impression that the NCAA is overrated and of little substance at the end of the day. You agree?
Yeah, and I think right now, and I did it, we're all guilty of it, but taking shots at the NCAA is low-hanging fruit. It takes no intellectual genius to take a shot at this bereft organization. But it's just, what bugs me here, John, is the hypocrisy of the Michigan fan base. They are easily among the most despicable group of overzealot fans I've ever dealt with. And the fact that they tried to act like they have a legitimate national championship, they don't. The banners won't come down, the trophies will remain, but everybody knows they cheated like bandits. Everybody knows that this thing stinks to high heaven. Everybody knows Jim Harbaugh was a total fraud in everything he said, but it won't matter because he got away with it, and the most important thing he did, he won.
Well, there's a silver lining, Paul, and that is going forward, the present-day players and administration won't get punished for what the predecessors did.
No, but and by the way, we're used to it by now. It's not a big deal. It's just the way it works. Hey, thank you for the call. Brian is up next in Tulsa, and you are on the air. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Paul. Happy Finebaum Friday.
Thank you.
Today, folks, if you listen, it's Jim, John, and Chris. We're going to be dissing. And I want to talk about Michigan for a little bit. They need to change their name from Hell to the Victors to Hell to the Cheaters. The NCAA is a joke. This whole thing is a joke. And, Paul, I'm going to ask a question real quick. Could the CFP make a decision of potentially stripping Michigan of the national championship?
Well, Brian, thanks for the call. I mean, that train left a long time ago, and it doesn't matter because once the Big Ten, I mean, the Big Ten commissioner tried to stand up, but he got shot down, and ultimately Tony Bettini didn't want to lose that national championship. There was almost nothing they could really do because of and you know, this committee is laughable too. But I mean, I keep going back to a place I don't want to go because it's really not worth commenting. Deb, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I admit I have not been listening to all the chatter about this decision last year, but I'm wondering, has there been any discussion about putting an asterisk by their name whenever these championships are listed?
Deb, it's no, and here's the reason why.
Okay.
Because the NCAA, which has jurisdiction on what we're talking about here, does not have jurisdiction on Michigan's national championship. Michigan's national championship was awarded by the College Football Playoff, which is a different entity. So this is the real problem with the NCAA and has been for a long time. They really can't take away a football national championship. Now they can, in theory, they wouldn't take away a basketball championship because they operate the basketball championship. But in essence, the NCAA has virtually nothing to do with the actual college football playoff. They do sanction the postseason. They have academic jurisdiction, but they cannot put an asterisk by it, no.
Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. I'll just put an asterisk by it in my own mind.
I think if college football fans are true, we will all just look at Michigan as a dirty, cheating school and quit trying to hide behind all the things that I just laid out. We all know what they did. It was corruptible. Is it a legitimate championship? Yes, because it's recognized as legitimate, and nobody's going to take it away. But you know, Jim Harbaugh won't be affected by it. But when I look at Jim Harbaugh, I see a cheater. It's really that simple.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you.